So good morning again. And this time we're going to install the Wamp server, which is a bundle of your Windows OS, the Apache server, MySQL database, and the PHP programming language. So since we already downloaded it, what you have to do next is you have to follow the steps. And as you follow the steps of installing, you will arrive at this particular folder in your programs. So you will find that there's the Wamp server now included in your menu or start menu over here. Okay, so there's now the Wamp server. Now you can click that and then click Start Wamp Server. Afterwards, when you click the Wamp server, look at your system tray. Let's check there. Okay. So now I have this icon. I hope you can see the icon. Try to annotate. Now you see there's this igloo-like icon and there. Okay. So it says there Wamp all services running because you now have different services to work with. So let's click that. Now look at the color. If it's white, I'll click it again. That means all services are working. Okay. So there's also, as you can see, there's the WAMP 5. This is the version. It's an older version. As I mentioned, I like working with older versions because I have less bugs and they've been tried and tested. And then you
Um,
have your, yes,
folder lang po yung nakikita namin.
let me try that again. How about now? Can you see it here?
Yes
Now?
po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay, good. So as I mentioned, there's the WAMP icon, which looks like an igloo. If its color is white, that means all services are running. So your Apache is running. Look at the services. It says stop service. That means you're already running Apache, as well as MySQL. It says stop service. Start is disabled because it has already started. Now, if you want to stop the services, you just click stop all services and look at the icon. The icon turns red with white. So that says WAMP none of two services running, server offline. So this is your web server. You have to make sure it's running. So just click start all services. Okay. Now, if ever you see that or you want to turn off the database, which is MySQL, you have to click stop service. And look, the icon becomes yellow. Okay. So you see there's a yellow color in your WAMP icon. All you have to do is just turn it on, click MySQL, start, or resume service. And there you go. It's now white. Okay. Then let's go to your folder. Your default folder is in Drive C. So I'll click Drive C. I have here WAMP. That means our root folder is WAMP. And then inside it, you have triple W, this one. This is where we can now save our files or PHP files. So open it. And then I created a folder. You can do so. So I just created a folder php-abigail Kumandao. Okay. Or if you want, you can choose a different folder like the name of your file. So let's say it's going to be my first website. Okay, something like that. So all your files for that website will be found there. Next. So we've created the folder. Now, let's go back to the icon of Wamp at the bottom. So I'll click this again, and then I'll click localhost. After I click localhost, it redirects me to the Wamp interface. So I have here my projects. Remember, I created PHP, my first website, so it's found here. And then I also have tools. So this is where you have to see the browser output. Right now, this has nothing to show. So that's why it just says parent directory, my first website. Okay, there you go. So it's empty because we have no web pages created yet. And then what I'll do, I'll open now Notepad++. And then remember, I used to create the customer registration page. I'll save this, so file, save as, and I'll put it in PHP, my first website. So I go to Drive C, Wamp, www, PHP, my first website. And then I put it here, so save. I also do the same thing for summary. So file, so save as again. Remember the location. It has to be in Drive C again, Wamp, www, and my first website folder. So save. Okay. So let's try it now. I have those. Let's switch views. I'll go to localhost. So again, where do you find that? So you have your system tray. Click the WAMP server icon. Click localhost. And it will show you now. So let's go to your projects, my first website. See, I now have the 2 additional web pages that we made or I made in the past. Now I just click this customer and then see if I did not include the other files like the image, it doesn't show. So I need to make sure I have the image. So let's go back to my files. And I will now get the image
Magtanong po ako, ma'am.
for that. Yes?
Ma'am, paano po palabasin yung to your projects?
You have to create first a folder.
Folder, ma'am, sa TOEW.
It's
Okay
all
po,
right.
sige po.
Under
Thank you po.
www, this one.
Sige po, gets
So,
na po. Sige po.
yeah, you have to create your own folder. So please create a folder. I suggest with your name so that it's easier to track. And then after that, so as I've mentioned, I need to also get my other files, no? So because in my other files, like where I have the pictures, for example, I need to get the pictures for that. Okay. So wherever it is, like let's say I have to add the picture, so just save them there. Okay. So let's say, let's go back to the code. Okay. So I have an image, and in the image, remember it didn't show. That's because I didn't have the pets.png in my folder. So to do the correction or to troubleshoot, another term is to debug, then I have to get it from this path name. Okay, so I'll go to documents and fetch that file. So let's go to documents and then web dev, and then I fetch this. Okay, so I'll copy that and I'll put that to my drive C, Wamp, triple W, PHP, my first website folder. So I'll put it here. And then I'll switch tabs going back to my browser, refresh. Let's check if it will work. Okay. Now look at the path name. Let me just try that again. Let's look at the path name. So it says here drive C user. So it's no longer drive C user. It's now WAMP number and then triple W. So that's where the error lies. And it has to be, so for this, you can just copy to avoid any more errors. Okay, so let's save that again. And then I'll refresh this site. Let's check if ever there's still something wrong. Okay. Now, when you troubleshoot, always check. Just a minute, someone is chatting. Okay, let me talk to those who have questions later after my discussion. So as I was saying, this is when you can also check what are the available files, right, that you can use. So there is JPEG, PNG, or GIF, GIF, right? So that's why make sure that your image, like this one, is appropriately saved. And I have users. Let's check again. So you just have to be patient because you need to get the files correctly. Okay. So it's C, local disk C, WAMP, triple W. So it's here. Yeah. And then it's pets.png. So you just have to keep on checking if it is already running. And the most common problem is that whenever they have the files, like the image files, they're not proper. They're not in the correct case. Like if it's capital or lowercase, you have to make sure you follow. Ayon. So anyway, I'll just have to go back to that later on. So like here, is it okay. So like right now, I have pets.png already. So we just have to check. Okay. Anyway, let's proceed because I need to show to you the other syntax. So we'll go back to that later on. Next, we'll have a new file. Let's create a new file. And this is for PHP. So remember to create the PHP code block, you need, of course, the PHP delimiter. And the first thing that we usually do is we test if we can display a string like hello world. So in this case, let's change it to hello web dev 112 students. Okay. And then let's save this. So file, save as. So this is hello. And it's supposed to be .php. So you can choose a PHP file here, or you can just put there all types and then hello.php. Okay, so save. Then it turns to a different color, the PHP delimiter and the echo. So let's check if it will work. Let's go to your browser, localhost. So again, no, so that you remember localhost. So click the Wamp icon, localhost. And then let's go for PHP, my first website. And we have hello. Okay. So look, if it says syntax error, unexpected. So this means in line 4. Let's go to line 4. Okay. So this one. It's because, as you can see, guys, I did not put a question mark. So easily, this Notepad++ can detect the error. So I saved it now. Let's go back to the browser, refresh. See, it's now working. Okay, so it says, hello, WebDev112 students. Let's go back to the source code. Now, this is the common error, as I've mentioned, of newbie PHP programmers. So always make sure that when you type the code block, so like this, immediately type both angle brackets, type the two question marks, and then type PHP. Afterwards, press enter, like so. Okay? So that way, you avoid that error. Another is, let's try using a variable. So let's say weather. So I want a weather that is sunny. Okay? So if I'm going to, so let's put BR. This is a line break. So let's say, hello WebDev 112 students. It's a dollar weather day. Now, to display, you need to put echo. And then, the concatenator is dot. And then afterwards, you need another concatenator and you need to put the quotation mark. Okay, let's try if it will work. So save this, switch to the browser, refresh. Ayun, it's a sunny day. So it worked. All right. And then the BR also worked. Kasi if I did not put echo here, echo BR, look at what happens. So it's hello WebDev 112 students without a line break. So that's why I wanted a line break using echo and BR. Okay. So next, after that, let me just get a file here. So in this particular, I'm sorry, I mean, let's go back to this, the source code. Now, if I would like to add to, add to this. So hello, and then I want to put, let's say, a font. Oops. Let's say, what if I want to change the font? It should become Comic Sans MS. Can I do that? Okay. And then, of course, I need to close my font. So that's going to be a different scenario, no? And ayun, you will have a syntax error. Why? Because you did not invoke the HTML tag also. So the HTML tag, as I've mentioned, you can put that so that it will display your HTML tags. No? Now, the problem with this is that in order for it to work, you have to keep on, Teka lang, just a minute. Here, you will have an error if there are two, also ganon. So, what I'm saying is, guys, you have to be careful when you use your PHP because let me share the screen back. Okay. So remember, whenever you're using for the comments, constants, and variables, you have to make sure that your just a minute. Let me go back to this. That your variables are so if you're going to invoke the HTML, it has to be also properly executed. Okay. So I'm trying to give you a review about the variables. And I want to now talk about the variables. So let me stop there and share screen again in Notepad. So let's create a new file. Okay. So remember, I had the variables. And what I want to do is I want to be able to show to you. Let's get this code. So I have $name foo or maybe Schubert na lang. Yan, this one. So in I have this in our example. Okay, let's get this. And I'll put this in Notepad. So first, of course, I need the PHP delimiter. I have the alignment, so tab. And then let's try to save this as variable example dot php. So this should be all types. Okay. So if I do this, let's try now to go back to localhost. Ayun. So see, ayun nga pala, sorry guys, I wasn't able to show you. So as you can see, now it worked. Yung kanina, I mentioned, let's go back to my code. So I corrected the error. Sorry about that. I corrected the error by invoking or adding the HTML tags. Now it's working. My Comic Sans. And also I removed the double quotes because there should only be one set of double quotes. If you have another double quotes to use, change it to single quotes so that there's no error. Okay, so that's why I now have a working browser output. This is now Comic Sans. This one. In terms of the font face. Okay, so let's go back to my projects. So let's go and fetch the browser output for the variable. So I press F5 to refresh. I have your variable example. And
Kung hindi
see
pa
if,
nakikita, ma'am.
oh, let me try that again. Can you see it now?
Yes
Huh?
po, syntax error.
Okay. Yes. Because right now, what I want you to do, I'm teaching you by walking you through some errors, and then this is how you learn more. So it's really trial and error when you are programming. Okay, that's how you also do it. So let's go to line 4. Okay, remember, look at the line 4 here. Line 4. Okay. In my line 4, I have echo And it says here, dollar, dollar. Okay. Now, if I remove this, let's check what happens now. Oops. Let's try that again. There is an error here. And what it says is the error prompt says syntax error. Okay. So if I have echo dollar, it says here dollar X and then dollar X. Now you can actually try first with dollar X. Let's check if it will work. Remember, I have echo. Okay. So what if I don't put the double quotes? Will it work? Ayun. So this is what it showed, right? If I have dollar, dollar, just a minute, let's try this. Okay, it has the same effect. If I have dollar, dollar, no double quotes yet. Save it, refresh. Ayun, I have Schubert. However, notice that because of my browser, this is what I also want you to understand, class. There are some cases, like I remember when I was doing my thesis in the past, the browser doesn't show my Flash file. In this case, there are some browsers you have to check if they will display the appropriate file. So you have Eric, but then what if I try a curly brace? What will happen now? Yan, I have Schubert. Okay. So this is the browser. It's not an error class na. It's just a browser. This one, if you see characters like that, it's dependent on the browser. Kaya don't worry if you have the right source code, but sometimes it doesn't show up accurately. So it depends on the browser. One, it could be your version. Two, the browser itself. Okay. The browser could be the browser version or the browser itself. Meaning, if you try this in using, or if you use this in Microsoft Edge or Safari, it may turn out differently. So that's why you have to keep on testing. And that's how you also develop in when you use PHP. You have to keep testing for the output. Okay, so I hope it's clear. That's how you are going to test for the output. So now let me go back to the slide. So that's for the variable. Okay. So we're done with that. And then, as I've mentioned, this is an example. Oh yeah, I've already given this as an example. But then let's try it with PHP embedded in in an HTML tag. So I'll create another one. I'll save this as embedded PHP sample. Embedded PHP in HTML sample. So make sure it's .php in terms of extension name, and all types should be the save as type. So let's try if it will work. Let's go back to the browser output, refresh your localhost interface. Let's go to embedded PHP. There you go. So the hello world is there. This is an HTML section, hello world again. So why? Because in this particular code, I just wanted to show that the portion which is an HTML section is this. Okay. But it works because you have hello world, the salutation, and it displayed the salutation. Okay. Let me switch back. Just want to get a certain file first. So once you have your PHP working, the next step is that you should be able to understand more of its syntax. So far we've tested the syntax, but then again, how about for its other functions like the constant? I hope you can see my screen. Hi.
Yes, ma'am. Nakikita po naman.
Okay, thank you. So the same with the constant. All you have to do is try this out. To make it quick, I'll just copy that to conserve time. Then let's try it if it will work. So file save as. This is going to be a constant example. So .php. Again, same folder. It should not be in a different folder. And we go for all types. Save. Let's try it in localhost this time. So refresh. It's constant example. Ayan. So using define function, since we used the syntax, ayan, so it's working and it's even saying the version. Right? So because the syntax for constant has been used using const.
Ma'am, hindi po
Ayan.
kita.
Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. So instead of using, can you see it now? Hi.
Yes, pakita na po.
Okay, thank you. So as I've mentioned, this is my code block for the constant. I have define, then my parameters. When you say parameters, the one that you have to provide for your define function to work. So year, this is the year 2010, my constant. And in day, meaning Independence Day, June 12th. So that's how I was able to come up with we are in year 2010. And then Philippine Independence Day is June 12th. Okay. So that's about the constants. Any questions so far? Can you see the source code again?
Pwede pa
Yes, ma'am, kita
screenshot
po.
ko ng source code nung kanina po.
Yeah, I'll send it to you
Thank you po,
later.
ma'am.
Yeah, for the class. So going back, okay, now let me just create a new file. First, I need to get customer registration page. So remember, I have the buttons. Maybe for now, I'll comment this. Okay, what I'll do is I'll get, not comment, but what I'm saying is I'm going to get here last name. So this portion. Okay. So I'll need that. So fill in the needed information. Let me just get them. Middle name, chosen pet. So maybe for now, just the last name, the first name, the middle name. And I'll create a different file. So again, let's let's type in the PHP delimiter. And I have so I'll put echo. And then also this one. Let's just get the file, I mean the customer last name, the customer first name. For this, I'll comment this out first. Because I'll be needing them later on. So customer first name, and the customer middle name. Okay, so maybe for now, let's have that. So once I save this as customer, let's just use customer underscore details. Sorry, customer, yeah, details dot php. All types, save. Let's check how it will look like. So refresh and then customer details. Okay. So as you can see, yeah, there's, sorry, I'll have to get rid of this. Let's try that again. Okay, there. So I'll just add the BR line break so that I have a line break after each. Let's try that again. Okay. Now, after I have that, this is what I was going for, that you're going to be able to get the customer last name, then put it in the other web page. Okay. So here, this is when you have to use the dollar underscore get and the dollar underscore post. So it's already 12:07. Guys, do you still have enough data?
Yan.
Yeah. Okay. So my point is this: in the lesson about dollar underscore get, because you also have this one. So what we'll do is you're going to learn about how to use the dollar underscore get and the dollar underscore post later on. Okay, so in the preceding lessons. So for the meantime, I'm gonna stop here, and then for just a summary, because I need more time to do this. So just for your probably interest, I suggest you start learning now about dollar underscore get, because that's where I'm getting at. So just to wrap things up about our lesson for today, I discussed to you how you can use the different, I would say, functionalities of PHP. And we started with, so we had the use of the constants, the variables, and aside from that, you were able to learn about the multi-line comments, the single line comments, the different variables, as well as the variable types, the variable strength, how to use variables, and the variable scope. Now, for the super globals, that will be for next meeting. And we also learned about the constants. So that has been our topic for today. I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll be ending the screen sharing, and always make sure to keep on trying and testing PHP.